David Bird here, the Connection Coach, and today I'm off to London, but not by the normal means. Normally I would take the train, but today I'm driving. That's right, I'm driving into London. It's funny because every time I talk to people who live in London, they say, well, no one ever drives in London. It's like, well, every time I go to London, there's fucking cars everywhere. And that's been my experience when I drive there. I don't enjoy it. Anyway, there's an event on today. A guy called Steve Hardison, who's a big coach. He's coming over from America, and he rarely leaves his house, so far as I understand it, or at least his state. Like he works from home essentially. So it's a big thing for him to be doing something over here. So a bunch of people are going to this event, this conference, as it were. Anyway, me and Amy had finished recording the podcast yesterday. We run the Notcast Podcast, #shameless plug. And she said, yeah, I need to check. I should probably check the trains. I thought, oh yeah, I should probably do that too. See what time I need to get up and be there. And then I find out, I need to be on the train at 5:30. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Well, rail replacement service. I'm like, great, brilliant. Don't want to be on a bus for like however long it is, an hour and a half, 2 hours, to then have to get more tubes. So anyway, I was looking at how do I get there now. In the past, if this kind of thing would have happened, I'd have had an absolute meltdown. Don't get me wrong, I was still frustrated. But my mindset this time, it was like, well, how do I work the problem? Like, I want to go, I'm going to have to figure it out. And it was interesting to observe myself yesterday, comparing myself to, say, a few years ago. Like, if there was, like, even on, this would happen, like, if there was a party, someone would say, oh, I'm going to have this party. And I'd be like, yeah, I'll go to that party. And then when I'd look at the travel route there, unless I already knew the route, unless I was clear on what the route would be, I'd stress about it. And I'd often end up being like, well, I can't go. Or I'd end up almost avoiding the problem to the last minute and then be on a massive downer because I'd realised, like, I just can't go. But that was all anxiety and fear. And so, yeah, yesterday, the frustration did come up because I'm like, fuck's sake, why can't it just be simple? But again, that was me holding on to the expectation that the world should be conforming to my ideas of how the route should be. It's like, yeah, okay, the trains normally run, but they're not this weekend, so what are you going to do about it? Do I want to be driving to London? Absolutely not. Did I want to be getting on a bus replacement service at 5:30 in the morning? Absolutely not. But do I want to go to the conference? Well, yeah. And how much do I want to go? Well, I really want to go. So I had to work the problem. And it was a challenging half an hour while I figured things out and compared options. But then I settled. I want to go to the conference. So here I am at whatever it is, just gone 7 o'clock in the morning, about to drive into London and hopefully have a fantastic day. So, is this something you struggle with changing plans, with disappointment, with frustration, with worry in your own capability about whether you can do something outside your comfort zone? If you can, drop me a comment, send me a DM, whatever, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you.